immediately, I'm kind of the odd one out. Alright. Put on top of that my insecurities and everything about being in that room, and I start trying to, I might raise my hand a little too much, and I might volunteer myself, I might, maybe I've even flirted a little too much, I don't know. Okay, let's not. But I was insecure, okay? But immediately I started being singled out. There's only 20 people, you spend about 10 hours a day together, and that's who I was with all day, all year long. And I became the very odd one out. Very much so where everyone would be invited to things except for me. Okay? I became the butt of every joke. I didn't want to go to class because why would I want to? Okay, so on top of that, I didn't have much money, and so I chose to live with my grandparents. And while I was living with them, my grandmother was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And so I started taking care of her and taking her to all of her doctor's appointments. So that's when I decided actually to run for Miss Moses Lake. So I thought it might be good to get outside that circle of people, meet a new circle, gain hopefully some mentorship. But instead, when I show up with a smile to the class, because that's my defense mechanism, is to smile and say, "Oh, everything's great, how are you doing?" And they see the pictures posted online of me and my shiny fancy crown and more smiles, everyone assumes that that's who she is. I know what's going on with her. And they assume that you're people just assume things. I will never for the rest of my life, ever, forget the day I heard the line, "Oh, she finally got the crown she always thought she deserved." But they knew nothing about my life or who I was. Nothing. No one ever stopped to ask me, "What's going on in your life? What's going on behind school? What's going on behind that smile?" So we see people every day, who somehow look different than us. It might be someone with, a little bit more greasy hair than us and a little less cool clothing, who we can't quite relate to what's going on. Or maybe we see someone who is dressed to the nines in clothing that we can't afford. And we say, gosh, they've had life really easy. But you don't know what's going on. You don't know, maybe that person's had a family member pass away last week. But who are we to judge? So I guess the point is, first of all, who are we to judge ourselves and think that we're something more or something less? And who are we to judge someone else and think that they're being worth something more or something less? And we all do this. I do it. Not on purpose. Never on purpose. But it's so easy to do it, right? To make assumptions and to accidentally judge someone based on our own way of looking at life. We don't really understand. We don't really know what's going on. So as I change my image here a little bit, show you guys that I'm really just like anyone else sitting here. So because we put on sometimes these fake masks of makeup, and of hair, of cool clothes, of an attitude, a way to treat others, whether that's with a smile or it's with bullying. We treat people differently based on our ideas. But it's not right, because who are we to judge? The only person in this entire universe that has any right to judge anything is God alone. And He made us in His image. So Why is any person who looks different than me any less perfect? Because he's not, because just like me, that person was created by God perfectly. There is no difference. There is no better or worse. So we are all perfect by God. Okay. Throw these on. Goodness gracious. Become what I look like on just any other day, walking around my house. I could even stick in the retainers I wear. If I was filling up for it, I could even pull out my contacts and stick on my glasses. Okay. Me here and what I looked like 5 minutes ago, I'm the same person. Okay, there is no difference between who I stood here as 5 minutes ago and who I stand here today. But the treatment I would get by my classmates and by the people I walk by every day, and even my loved ones, would be very different. That's not the way it should be. And neither should my own image of myself be different. Because I am just as beautiful now as I was 5 minutes ago when everybody in that entire dining room was staring at me. Girls coming up to me, oh my gosh, I want to be like you when I grow up. I got that line just 5 minutes ago, or half an hour ago. But why? I'm the same person, just as imperfect, and made just as perfect with Christ. Because Christ, right now, is waiting for you and telling you that you are perfect the way that you are. You don't need to try and attain another image. You don't need to try and gain some kind of control or something better than what you already have. Because you are beautiful. You are beautiful. You are perfect. You were made by the God of the entire universe. His hand self-selected. And all you have to do is accept that love. And you are perfect, just as perfect as anyone else in this entire world. So I want to pray for us if I can. You guys bow your heads, please. Lord, I just